Laudetur Jesus Christus, praise be Jesus Christ. It is the fourth Sunday in Advent, just a week to go before Christmas. On Saturday we celebrate Christmas, and right there on your screens you can see a very lively atmosphere here in St. Peter's Square. Christmas nativity scene, which is coming all the way from Peru, and it will be on display here for 45 days. About 100 million visitors are expected to pass through and visit this nativity scene. Shortly, Pope Francis will soon lead us in praying the Angelus, as he does every Sunday and on special feast days at 12 noon Rome time. Pope Francis prays the Angelus usually from the balcony of his study. It is overlooking St. Peter's Square, and at the conclusion of the Angelus recitation, Pope Francis will give us his apostolic blessing, which extends to you and your loved ones, wherever you are, at home, school, and perhaps in your car. If you happen to be in Rome on a Sunday, all you need to do is arrive, bearing in mind to clear the security controls. There are no tickets required for the Angelus. My name is Father Paul Samasumo. I'll do my best to bring you the live commentary and translation of the Holy Father's Angelus message. On behalf of Vatican Media, I'd like to welcome all of you joining us for this live broadcast on television and on radio wherever you are in the world. A very special welcome to our television viewers and radio listeners of Catholic TV, Catholic Faith Network, EWTN TV, Shalom TV India, Shalom World TV Networks, Salt and Light TV, Atmadarshan TV, Luminous Radio. We welcome all of you joining us through our various Vatican Media channels, including all our social media channels. You will find more detailed information about the Angelus of today on our website, vaticannews.va. Very lively crowd, as I said at the beginning, here in St. Peter's Square, waiting for the Holy Father to begin the Angelus recitation. And of course, this week the Pope celebrating his 85th birthday, if you remember. It was on Friday this week. And not long ago, on 13th December, he also celebrated his 52nd anniversary of his priestly ordination. Very important milestones, I dare say. And there have been many messages of goodwill pouring in to congratulate the Holy Father on almost from all over the world. And various people have been reflecting and commenting on the papacy of Pope Francis. Jesuit Cardinal His Eminence Michael Cheney also spoke to Vatican News, and he spoke about the recently launched Synod of Synodality, which he says Pope Francis is leading us towards a new way of being church. He is leading us towards a listening church, a church of hope, a church of faith and love for one another. And they're appearing at his window of his balcony, the study, Pope Francis, to begin the Angelus. Much to loud cheer from the pilgrims. Dear brothers and sisters, buongiorno. The Gospel of the liturgy today, fourth Sunday of Advent, tells us of Mary's visit to Elizabeth. After receiving the annunciation of the angel, the Virgin does not stay at home, thinking over what has happened and considering problems and pitfalls which were certainly not lacking. The poor lady, she didn't know what to do at the time. On the contrary, she first thinks of another. Instead of being tied up with her own problems, she thinks of someone who is in need. She thinks of Elizabeth, her relative, who was of advanced years and was with child. A miracle happening. Mary sets out with generosity without letting herself be put off by the discomforts of the journey. Responding without letting herself be put off by the discomforts of the journey, She responds to an inner impulse that called her to be close to help. And it was a long trip of long kilometers. She went on foot. She walked. She arose and went out to give Elizabeth the joy of Jesus, the joy she carried in her heart and in her womb. She goes to her and proclaims the Magnificat. With these sentiments that we know today is the Magnificat, and the text says, Our Lady arose and went with haste. In the last stretch of the journey of Advent, let us be guided by these two verbs, to rise and to go in haste. These are two movements that Mary made and that she invites us also to make as Christmas approaches. First of all, arise. After the angel's announcement, a difficult period loomed ahead for the Virgin. Her unexpected pregnancy exposed her to misunderstanding and even severe punishment. She could be stoned according to the tradition of those days. Many concerns and worries she had. Nevertheless, she did not become discouraged. She was not disheartened. She arose. She did not look down at her problems, but looked to God. And she did not think about whom to ask for help, but to whom to bring help. She's always thinking of others. That's how Mary, Our Lady, is always been. Even at Cana, when she noticed that the people had no wine, she thought and tried to find a solution. Our Lady Mary is always thinking of others. Let us learn from Our Lady this way of reacting, to get up, especially when difficulties threaten to crush us, to arise, so as not to get bogged down in problems, sinking into self-pity, a sadness that paralyzes. We shouldn't remain in this paralyzing sadness. But why must we get up? Because God is great and is ready to lift us up if we reach out to Him. So let us cast away the negative thoughts, the fear that block every impulse and prevent us from moving forward. And let's do as Mary did. Let us look around and look for someone to whom we can be of help. Is there an elderly person I know to whom I can give a little company? Everyone must think about that. Service, some kindness, a telephone call. By helping others, we help ourselves to rise up from our difficulties. The second movement is to go in haste. This does not mean to proceed with agitation in a hurried manner. Instead, it means conducting our days with a joyful step, looking ahead with confidence, without dragging our feet as slaves of complaints. These kind of complaints always ruin people. These complaints lead us to look for someone to blame. On our way to Elizabeth's house, Mary proceeded with quick steps of one whose heart and life was full of God, full of joy. Let us ask ourselves, how is my step? Am I proactive or do I linger in melancholy, in sadness? Do I move forward with hope or do I stop and feel sorry for myself. If we proceed with the tired step of grumbling and talking, we will not bring God to anyone. We will bring sadness and bitterness. Instead, if it does great good to us to cultivate a healthy sense of humor, as did, for example, St. Thomas More or St. Philip Neri, let us not forget to ask for this grace of a sense of humor. Let us not forget that the first act of charity we can give for our neighbor is to offer him or her a serene and smiling face, is to bring them the joy of Jesus as Mary did with Elizabeth. And may the Mother of God take us by the hand, and may she help us to arise and to go in haste towards Christmas. And now the Angelus.
Benedicta tui mulieribus, et benedictus fructus ventris tui, Iesus.
Sancta Maria, Mater Dei, ora pro nobis peccatoribus, nunc et in hora mortis nostre. Amen.
Ecce ancilla Domini.
Fiat mi secundum verbum tuum.
Ave Maria, gratia plena, Dominus tecum, benedicta tui mulieribus, et benedictus fructus ventris tui, Iesus.
Sancta Maria, Mater Dei, ora pro nobis peccatoribus, nunc et in hora mortis nostre. Amen.
Et verbum caro factum est.
Et habitavit in nobis.
Ave Maria, gratia plena, Dominus tecum, benedicta tui mulieribus, et benedictus fructus ventris tui, Iesus.
Sancta Maria, Mater Dei, ora pro nobis peccatoribus, nunc et in hora mortis nostre. Amen.
Ora pro nobis, Santa Dei Genitris.
Ut igni efficiamur promissionibus Christi.
Gratiam Tua, in questo Domine, mentibus nostris infunde, ut che Angelo Nunziante, Christi Fili Tui, incarnazione coniovim, per passione meius ad crucem, a resurrezione in gloria perducamur, per Christum Domini nostrum.
Amen.
Gloria Patri et Filio et Spiritui Sancto.
Sicut erat in principio et nunc et semper, et in saecula saeculorum. Amen.
Gloria Patri et Filio et Spiritui Sancto.
Sicut erat in principio et nunc et semper, et in saecula saeculorum. Amen.
Gloria Patri et Filio et Spiritui Sancto.
Sicut erat in principio et nunc et semper, et in saecula saeculorum. Amen.
Pro fidelibus defuntis, requiem aeternam dona eis Domine.
Et lux perpetua luceat eis.
Requiescant in pace.
Amen.
Sit nomen Domini benedictum.
Ex hoc nunc et usque in saeculum.
Aiutorium nostrum in nomine Domini.
Qui fecit caelum et terram.
Benedicat vos, omnipotens Deus, Pater, et Filius, et Spiritus Sanctus. Amen.
Just received a blessing there from the Holy Father, who earlier on delivered a message based on the Gospel of today. Dear brothers and sisters,
Esprimo la mia vicinanza alle popolazioni delle Filippine.
I would like to share my nearness with the people of Philippines. As you know, at least 75 people are feared dead after a devastating storm which struck the Philippines on Thursday, Typhoon Rai. And the Holy Father says the first help we can give is that of prayer. Greets all the pilgrims here in St. Peter's Square, and he greets all the Peruvian community based here in Rome. As you know, the nativity scene of this year is from Peru. And he thanks the Peruvian community, Peru, and those who have given the nativity scene. There are also pilgrims here from Terni, the band, the scouts, and various pilgrims from Macerata. I wish everyone a lovely Sunday and a lovely journey as we prepare towards Christmas. It's a Christmas of waiting, hope, and praying in company with the Blessed Virgin Mary. Please do not forget to pray for me. And now the band will play something beautiful. Prayers there requested by Pope Francis for the Philippines, who are suffering from the devastating effects of Typhoon Rai. And that brings us to the end of the Angelus on this fourth Sunday. You can hear the band there playing the happy birthday to Pope Francis, belated birthday. My name is Father Paul Samasumo, and on behalf of Vatican Media, thank you for joining Pope Francis in praying the Angelus. Do allow me to thank viewers and listeners of Catholic TV, Catholic Faith Network, EWTN TV, Shalom TV, Shalom World TV, Salt and Light TV, Atmadashan TV, Luminous Radio. Remember, on our website, vaticannews.va, you will find more detailed information about the Angelus of today and the appeal of Pope Francis in this Angelus. Enjoy the rest of your day. God bless. Laudetur Jesus Christus. Praise be Jesus Christ.